everybody, thanks for tuning in to Chic on the Cheap. So this week the renovation project continues. My husband and I have been working on renovating our house for the last 3 years, and we are finally down to the last 2 rooms, our kitchen and our bathroom, but we're trying to get our house all ready for the holidays. So one of the things I wanted to do was to redo my dining room table. It was actually my great-grandmother's, and I have a lot of good memories about the table, so I wanted to give it kind of a fresh new look. So my project for this week is one of the chairs, and this is how I'm going to redo all the chairs. I didn't finish the table this week, but I'll show you the whole project in the next weeks to come. But here's my idea for giving an old antique chair a new look. So here's the before. Great chairs. They were, like I said, my great-grandmother's. They just need a little updating. So first of all, my sweet mother came over and gave them a new coat of paint. I painted them white, and I like to use Sherwin-Williams Pro Classic paint. That's the one thing that I will pay money for because it's worth it and it wipes down really easily. So first thing was to put a nice coat of paint over the chairs. Once that was done, I took the old seats and took off the old leather and old fabric that had covered them before, and then I was left with just the wooden base. And after that, I wanted to replace some of the stuffing. So I went to Walmart and bought myself a big roll of cushion stuffing. You can buy a roll of it for $16. And then I just traced the outline of the seat, cut myself out a foam piece, and I decided to use the new foam piece as well as the old batting that was already in the chairs. So I put the old batting back onto the wood piece, and then I just added a real thin layer of hot glue to the existing batting piece just to hold the new foam piece in place. And after I had that on there, I just took that foam piece and just glued it right to that old batting piece. And these are going to be held in position by fabric, so I cut myself a piece of fabric that was more than ample to cover the chair, and I started by pulling one side tight and using a staple gun to staple down one side, and then after that side was done, I pulled on the opposite side of the side I just stapled and got it nice and tight too. You want to make sure that you're pulling it evenly, otherwise you'll have weird like pulled sections on your fabric, so just make sure it's even as you pull before you staple. Once I had that done, I stapled the other sides, the remaining sides, so at this point I have all 4 edges stapled down, and now I just need to do the corners. And to do the corners, I just wrapped it like a present. Now I'm not a professional upholster person. In fact, this is the first time I've ever attempted this, so I'm sure there's great easy ways to do this, but this is how I did it, so you can take it for what it is. When I had that done, I stapled it in place, and then I went back with a hammer later and nailed down all those staples so they were all the way in. Then I just went back with a pair of scissors and trimmed off my excess fabric. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could fold under the cut edges and glue them down so it looks a little neater. And then finally, I went back and I wanted to antique the chair. So I went back with just some sandpaper, and actually a heavy grit sandpaper works best for this. I tried a fine grit and it didn't work so good, but like that 60D, it works really well for antiquing painted furniture. And I just went over all the ridges and just gave it a real light antique finish. And once I was done with that, the chair was finished. I just reattached the seat section underneath, and here's the finished product. And I will show you the table and the full set of chairs when I get it done, but I wanted to show you just the first of the chairs this week so you can kind of see it. I did add in some chairs that I found at Goodwill for $7, so I'm pretty proud of those, and I'll show you those hopefully next week. But thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here next week for more money-saving ideas that will make you look good.